Napiga hela kama benki, wanege swaga ila haiketi. Ukuzipilize tutokuta na bafe. Louis Gucci Prada. Pengine glasi za mkata mademu karize ya duma. Tanasha simba wenu manyasi menu haina ganyamu sishoboke kangoma zikibuma. Still sasi spendi mazoeta kinchikana mchombe emotione. Uje uyumuke nasi. Kama takinywaji cha wasiwasi. Kama tingari lazima ita taxi. Hey. It's all on me. But I'm not for my number. Penda watoto wenye darasa. Uza selfie nitakukacha.
Watoto na pombe, watoto na pombe, watoto na pombe. Nilichopata ni watoto na pombe, watoto na pombe, pombe, watoto na pombe, pombe. Totos. Pombe. Totos.
Wananita Sultan huku ghetto. Njoni kuonyeshe maisha ya majengo. Tupitie mpambe, tulewana. Twende pangani, tuchane majani. Naona umevaa bini. Na unashinda ukivuta chini. Ni hiyo haga inainua, sio siri. Samahani, ni macho sio mimi. Tumefika humu ndani ya giza. Usijali bei nitalipa. Kidogo msupa kaitisha. Nikasikia meitisha kimfisha. Hey, if you know, you know.
Hey.
Kingfisher pantiri muka. Manzeni leo ndio leo. Majunda leo, watoto na viashone. Uje uyumuke nasi. Mata kinywaji cha wasiwasi. Kama tingari lazima itatasi.
So me.
But I'm not for my number. Penda watoto wenye darasa. Uza selfie nitakukacha.
Watoto na pombe, watoto na pombe, watoto na pombe. Nilichopata ni watoto na pombe, watoto na pombe, pombe, watoto na pombe, pombe. Totos. Pombe. Totos.
Na hiyo kesi vanakiza. Big golden night. Only start a pass. Nata 70. Na hiyo kesi vanakiza. Big golden night. Only start a pass. Nata 70. Na hiyo kesi. Na Milan here. Jonas na Kaloko Mpapa kwa Mama Esther. Asim Mora.
Hey, karibuni sana. Welcome to the Voices of the Motherland show, only on the Blackwood Fire Network media for the 21st century. I do believe everyone is doing okay. And of course, today on a Monday, we are back with some positive vibrations. Because trust me, the minute you keep dwelling on the negativity, that is the moment you keep draining your energy. So of course, I believe everyone is doing okay. And a very good morning. I believe right now, it is afternoon or it's morning. It's morning. It's still a morning. A good morning. It's still a morning. I almost confused, due to difference in timing. And of course, we are waiting for the one and only at Rumbi Zai Muzopa. She will be joining us a few minutes from now. That is all the way from the land of Mugabe, the late Mugabe, that is Zimbabwe. Feel free to interact with us on the Voices of the Motherland. And today, we do have an amazing topic. Of course, it's all about amazing topics. It's all about things that get to, affect us. These are some of the things that happen within our vicinity, and we even don't get to notice. These are some of the things that we assume like, oh, this is a child. She's definitely going to know what is right, what is wrong. But as parents, not only as parents, even as siblings, we tend to forget to nurture, or rather culture. our siblings. And that is why today we are counting the rate of teenage pregnancies, which is on the rise. And this COVID-19, actually this COVID-19 duration, I'm talking about 2020, things have not been easy. Remember, there was a time in Kenya whereby we did have, I think, 4,000 teenage pregnancies coming from just one county. That was in a duration of a month. So you can imagine how crazy it is. Stick by, because that is some of the topics that we will be talking, of course, about. And remember, on the Voices of the Motherland, we get to talk about issues that get to affect us. It could be about lifestyle, it could be about relationship, it could be about, sex education. It's just everything in general, everything coming all the way from Africa. And of course, do not touch that dial, and remember to log in at www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com, and there you can take a look at some of the episodes you might have missed. Still, when you log in at www.blackwoodfirenetwork.com, you can take a look at the blogs that are lined up there for you, because remember, it's all about educating people, because every day it's a learning experience for us. So I see the more reason as to why you should stick by. And still, when you get to log in at Blackwood Fire Network, you can take a look at some of that is the amazing music that gets to play right there only on Blackwood Fire Network. My name is Kami, and of course, stick by as we wait for Rumbizai Muzopa to come all the way from Zimbabwe. And I see the light bearer, Karibu Sana. You said, hi family, and you have sent love emojis, many love emojis to you too. And thank you so much for choosing Blackwood Fire Network, which is a media for the 21st century. And like I've said, today it is all about what is happening in the society, what is going on. Why is it that we are having a lot of teenagers out here falling a prey? Of course, there's one thing I noted right now. If not like I'm body shaming anyone, but I think due to a change of a diet, the change of foods we get to eat from time to time, I've realized that a girl or a boy who is on primary school level, I'm talking about let me start from a grade 3 there, from grade 3 there, you get to see that they have big body size. And I don't want to say that it is confusion, because this is a mature person. You are a mature person with your 5 senses, and you know this is a child. But you go ahead and lure them with petty things like junk food, some small cash. And because this is a child and they don't get that money most of the time from their parents, they'll go ahead. Oh, she's here with us. The African Duchess is here with us. I think our internet is okay. She's here with us. Karibu Sam. Hi, Rumbi.
Hi, Kalmi. How are you?
Rumi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can
Hi.
hear you. How are you?
I think your microphone has an issue. Can you hear me, Rumbi?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm fine. You're looking good. I love your hair.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So welcome to the Voices of the Motherland show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Yes. I'm saying welcome to the Voices. I'm doing fine. It's been long.
Very long. How are you coping?
How is Zimbabwe?
Zimbabwe is good. Things have normalized. You were experiencing very much high.
Yes, and I'm asking, how is Zimbabwe? How is the weather patterns in Zimbabwe? For example, here in Kenya, it has been raining. 1 minute it's sunny, the next minute it's raining, especially morning hours. It's raining so much, but during the afternoon, we get to enjoy some little bit of sun. How is the situation in Zimbabwe?
It's more of the same. We are experiencing very much high temperatures. The weather.
How is the situation in Zimbabwe, Rumbi? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I think there's a little bit of a lag in that you get to understand me after a few seconds.
Yes, I'm saying they are like high temperatures these days. It's very hot this side, but right now I think the rains are coming. So yeah.
bit of a lag there. Hi, Keith. We were still on. Welcome to the Voices of the Motherland, and sorry for that. We were having a little bit of internet connectivity, but karibuni sana at Keith Newsome, karibu sana to the Voices of the Motherland show. And the topic today is all about the situation as to why we are counting large numbers of teenage pregnancies among us to serve. That was the question that the topic of the day that we were going to discuss on the Voices of the Motherland. And of course, let me repeat that. Sorry for that, because we're just having a little bit of a hitch, I believe. Okay, she is here also with us. Sorry about that. Okay, we were talking about the situation in Africa right now. Hi, Rumbi.
Hi, can you now hear me?
Talking about the situation in Africa right now, because things are not okay. Parents are torn in between. Where should they leave their children? Because yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. All right, just to continue with what I was saying, right now parents are disturbed as to where they should leave their kids, as to where and whom they should leave their kids to. For example, right now we do have the grade for students, of course, going to school. We do have also a form for high schoolers, that is in terms of high school going to school. Fourth year students still relocating to school, and now we do have these huge loads around here of other, of course, students, as much as the schools are supposed to resume fully on January. But we are having an issue with the rise in teenage pregnancies. And also another issue that we are going to take a look at is the issue of age consent. And let me just start with the issue of age consent before I ask Rumbi Zai for her opinion. I have realized that different African countries, they do have a different age concept. And when I'm talking about age concept, I'm basically referring to the age as to which it's actually the age as to which some sexual content are allowed for young kids to watch, for kids to watch. That is basically what I'm talking about. Age consent is that age whereby, irrespective, of course, of the gender, whether male, whether female, irrespective of the gender, irrespective of the sexual orientations, this is the age as to which you allow a child to watch some. I'm not talking about the explicit part, but I'm talking about something that is sexual. As an adult, you get to understand what is sexual and what is not sexual, what age is supposed to be allowed, because this has been a debate for quite a long time. For some people believe that as a child, if you are 4 years of age and above, I'm talking about westernized countries, if you are 4 years and above, then you are allowed to watch anything on the television, respective if it's prime time or not prime time. You are allowed, because the debate is around that the debate that is around is that these young children, they are in that bracket whereby they are able to notice quickly what is around them. They are able to put into action what is around
I guess it's just me. I don't know what happened to everybody. It's just me. I don't know what happened to everybody. I'm trying to come in and make sure everybody's everybody be able to show up. My room is gone and Cammy's gone. African internet. Jesus Christ.
Okay, let me just continue. I think
Cammy's there.
yes, I'm here, Keith. Just to continue with what. All right, just to continue with what is what we are talking about. Okay. Just to continue with what I was talking about, in that most parents have, stayed in that shell whereby they would rather not interact with their kids. I mean, they would rather not talk to them in terms of, the sexual education, because sexual education, it goes hand in hand with the age of consent. Some kids have, they want to try out what they're watching on TV, and this brings us to this debate as to what age as a parent you need to tell your child that when it reaches such a certain time, we need to be sleeping, or such and such episodes that are aired. Of course, we know that prime time, I believe it's from 10 p.m. onward. That is in terms of local, of course, local episodes that get to air on television. Prime time, it's of course 8 to 11 p.m. on most occasion, and you can see that this is the time that your kid maybe wants to be watching this news or wants to be watching this episode. But as a result, you as a parent, you're not keen that this child, what he or she is watching, they are going out there to practice. And that, of course, has brought us to the debate out here that this is becoming quite an issue. And let me just take you through some different African countries. For example, the age of consent in South Africa, it is 16 years for both, of course, boys and girls. 16 years. This is not right. 16 years, I think this is still a child who doesn't know anything, who doesn't know, in terms of hygiene, in terms of taking care of themselves, in terms of even staying alert and sane in a relationship. So you can see that different African countries, they get to differ. So in South Africa, it is, like I've told you, 16 years. And this is regardless of the sexual orientation or gender. But you all know that South Africa is filled with a lot of whites, and as a result, the age of consent, even in some countries, it has been reduced to even 14 years old. And let's take a look at what is happening in Nigeria. The age of consent in Nigeria is what age? In Nigeria, we do have at 18 years, and I believe different African countries, they do have the age of consent at 18 years, which I can say it's still relatively okay. But I can say that as parents, it is good for them to dwell in. It is good for them to ensure that as much as that is the age consent that the government has set aside, what are they telling the kids? At Rumbizai, what is your view on the situation whereby age consent is becoming an issue? I mean, parents are not even talking to their kids in terms of sexual education. They're just letting them to find it on themselves. How is the situation? Perhaps you can give us your view from Zimbabwe in terms of sexual education. How is the sexual education there? Do parents get to, talk to their children, one-on-one, trying to enlighten some of the issues that are affecting them, or they're just left like that? So how is the situation in Zimbabwe?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, we hear you now. I hear you now. You can.
All right.
Internet's
So
acting up.
the
A sound is acting up, but we hear you good now, Rummy. Go ahead.
Okay. So the
Mhm.
age consent this side in Zimbabwe is 18 years. So well, from 18 years, well, it's different from how it's done in Europe, where by 18 years you can now move out, you can now have your own space, whatever, do what and whatnot. But this side in my country, the age of consent, right, being 18, even at 18, you will still be staying at your parents' place. You can only leave your parents for ladies. You can only leave your parents' place when you're going to get married, like moving into your husband's house.
What?
Um,
Hold, what? What? Hold on. What?
oh,
Hold on. What? Wait,
That is
wait,
actually
wait,
how
yeah,
it
wait,
is.
wait. Hold on, Cam. I gotta get some understanding. That sounds crazy as cat shit to me. Hold on. Oh, I didn't even know that. Hold on. You're saying. Hold on, brother. Let me get this straight. You're saying you're
yeah.
not allowed to move out of the house as a young woman unless you get married? That's not a law, is it?
Trad-
That's a law?
no. It's not a law.
Is that
No. It's not
tradition?
a law.
Just
It's
tradition.
yes,
Okay, that's
tradition
tradition.
wise.
Yeah, it's tradition. I'm about to
Yeah, it's
say.
tradition.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy. Talking
tradition
about somebody
wise,
can't leave home. Okay.
no, you can leave home because for
So are you
example,
trying to tell me,
let's
Rummy?
say
Are you trying? Are
uh,
you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me, Rumby? Are you trying to tell me there's no single ladies in Zimbabwe living on their own, have their own apartments and stuff?
they are doing that, well, because of work and people are evolving, but back in the day it was in rare cases.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
you guys said the other day that you guys have moved.
That is
You guys said
absolutely
you would move
correct.
out
Because
because of man. You guys go ahead, Cammy. Go ahead, Cammy. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cammy.
and I'm just siding with Rumbi. Kid, in different African homes, if you move out of your mother's home and you're not going to work, that is a different case. So you'd rather stay with her until the time someone comes to notice you, maybe in the compound. That is how they actually, I think in most homes that is how it is. But of course, right now, I think right now people are not sticking in that so much. Right now, people get to relocate to different towns looking for hustle. But on most occasions, I can tell you, if you are jobless and your parent knows you're jobless, trust me, you're going to stay home until the time they're
Of
like,
course.
either
Of course.
they've had
Of
enough of
course.
you because you've
Of
been
course you're gonna
disturbing
stay
them from
home.
time to
Of
time,
course you're
or
gonna stay
they're
home,
like, oh,
Cammy. Where
it's
you
time,
gonna go? You ain't
let
got
us let her go
you don't
out
got
before
no
she
money
gets
to go
old in the
nowhere.
house. That is how it is.
Of course you're gonna stay home, Cammy. You don't got no money. How you gonna? You can't leave home. You ain't got no job or no money. Of course that. Of course. Unless you're gonna live on the street, you're gonna be homeless. Unless you're gonna be homeless or something. Of course. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, I found that,
Mhm.
especially Zimbabwe, been with all them Mzungus down there. They about their European culture. So,
Mhm.
especially like they done here. Hell, young ladies here, 18, 19, if they got a decent job, they're gone. They're out the house. They're gone. See you, Dad. I'm gone. So I'm just saying, with the Mzungu culture, the young lady is gone. Especially as Rumi said in one of her shows, if the man's got bad breath, she's leaving. I'm gone. Your breath smells. I'm gonna get my own place.
Exactly. Yeah, that highly matters. That highly matters a lot. But
So
just to continue with the show, there has been a situation that is in terms of sexual consent, and thank you so much at Keith and Rumbizai for your views regarding the topic. And right now in Africa, it is believed that during this COVID-19, during this COVID-19, a lot of parents, they have been giving some duties, to the teachers, that they assume that if you are in boarding school, then it's the role of the teacher, to introduce this life skill education. For example, we do have the life skill education in Kenya, in Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Swaziland, South Sudan. There has been all these, life skills. They come about with books, teaching about sexual education. At times they get to hold talks. For example, I remember in primary school, we were called, as girls, even at times with boys. Girls were given sanitary towels and were given that life skill, of course, education. But I believe it is not enough, because if a parent gets to take you through that, at times you as a kid, you're like, what is mommy telling me? You just want to be a little bit rebellious, or maybe you are shying away from that. And that has been quite an issue. Or for some parents, they are busy with work. So them coming from work, they just want to maybe shower, eat, and rest, and they just don't want to check up on you. So long as you seem okay, that is enough for you. And that has actually become an issue in Africa. And I've given an example that in Kenya right now, the number of teenage, of course, pregnancies, they are on the rise. And of course, the blame is on the issue with the age of consent that is allowed by parents, and also not only as a country, but also by parents. They have to play a big role in that. Also an issue with what are you letting your kids to watch? That has also been an issue. And I was just earlier on asking Rumbizai the situation in their country, and she has, of course, given us that. But I just want to know this issue with teenage pregnancies. How can it be curbed? For example, in Kenya, we've had the perpetrators behind this. They have been arrested, and you come to realize that these are even mature people with their own families, but they go ahead and, of course, misuse these young girls, even young boys. We've seen situations whereby a mother goes ahead and marries the son. I've seen some situation like that, but it was not in Kenya, a country called the African country, correct? And this brings me to the question whereby, what is the way forward to this? What is the way forward to this issue whereby, the rate of teenage pregnancies is escalating? But of course, as we wait for Rumizai, let's just share this. Let's get to, of course, to take a look at this video as it explains more on the situation with sexual, of course, with the situation with age consent, the situation with sex, of course, in Africa, that is sex education in Africa. Of course, let's take a look at this as we get to progress with the show, because I believe it's an issue that many parents are running away from, and not many people will want to talk about it. Let's take a look at what is happening in Uganda, because different African countries, they are affected by this, and they are trying their best to curb this vice amongst young girls. Let me just share this.
Hi, honeys. How are you? Tanya ni Shiloh Key, and of course, welcome back to my channel.
Sorry, let me share this.
All that. So literally in today's video, I want to bring you, of course,
this is in Uganda.
I went with my fellow nursing students to a primary school where we were educating the girl child and, of course, the boy child about health issues and, of course, all that.
Hey, pause it for a minute, Cammy. Pause that. Pause. I want to ask a question. Pause it for a minute, Cammy. Pause that. Pause that for me for a second. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, pause it. So, if we got all these bride prices in Africa, how's everybody having teenage pregnancy? Where's all these bride prices and stuff? Huh? Where's all these? What's all the bride price then? Ain't nobody. Ain't no young man got no. Ain't no money. Ain't no young man got no money for no bride price. How's all these teenage pregnancies happening then?
They are avoiding the expenses because they're not expensive.
Especially, especially here in America, where most young black men are broke. That bride price crap don't happen here in America. We ain't got no money for no damn brides. But go ahead. I want to know, Cam. Let me know. I'll be quiet.
I think many men right now, they rather go for things that are easier, to handle. You can easily lure a young girl, with maybe even a box of biscuits or their favorite meal. Maybe actually, if you go ahead and even buy them fries and chicken, that's enough. It's crazy.
You mean I can't? Okay, so you mean tell me I go get a box of KFC chicken and I get me some nookie. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
That is that is the way through for a few girls who really don't get to understand their value.
That's what you say. So, Cammy, I ain't gonna get I ain't go Nairobi, right? I ain't go Nairobi, go to KFC and bring some young lady a box of chicken, and I can get some nookie. So that's my bride price.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is a true plus for some girls.
Let me make sure next time I'm in Nairobi, I get me some chicken. Go ahead.
That is actually Rumi can attest to that. That right now, food from KFC, not only for even girls who are done with school, even for girls who are in primary school and even high school, they really get to be like this. They see that as a very big favor. And even for some in the rural places, it's even worse. You will be even shocked to realize some of the things that has been given to these girls to entice them.
That is very true. Yes, I can. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Rumbi.
Yes, especially KFC. I'm from Africa, and I can attest to that. KFC is like the Cadillac car in America, but in Zimbabwe, because it's associated with the people who are a bit moneyed. So the moment a guy splashes KFC on you, nice jewelry, jewelry, the red bottom heels, you're gone. You're gone.
not the red bottom. Not the red bottom.
If you need to get some red bottoms.
Hold on, Cameron. So if I get the red bottoms, I get the real bottom, right? I get the real bottom.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Go ahead. Okay, go ahead. I'm just asking.
Rumbi is definitely correct, because these are the things we have been, we have been seeing that are happening, of course, in campuses just around us. So you can imagine a young girl who is in primary school and she finds this guy who is buying her not only even food from KFC, just the fries themselves. They keep on, it's one way of enticing. It's like a bait. It's like it's a bait for the fish. Keep enticing, and eventually it will come to that. And that has actually been a reason as to why the rate of teenage pregnancies has escalated. But I don't want to blame the parents, as much as the parents also need to, insist on sex education, because in Uganda, actually, the issue with the sex education, it is highly valued. They get to be taught from a very young age. It is highly valued. And I don't think Uganda has so many cases. If they have, I think then that is a stray girl somewhere, because the issue with sex education, it is started from a very young age with the aunt, with the mom, and they do not fear. But here you find that if my aunt wants to talk to me about sex education and I'm young, I'll shy away and maybe run and maybe go play, and I don't want to listen to that. Or I'm like, me, I'm not going to do that. It's not going to happen. Only for you to realize that, these things just happen in a flip of a second.
That is very true, Calmi. Even this side, it's the aunts, right? When you're saying aunts, we're talking about the sister of your father, right? So in my country, the sister of your father is one mostly who's responsible for teaching you about sex education, even how to bath our down there. The aunts, right? They are responsible for ensuring that the nieces know how to bath, know how to do what and what. Even when you get married, they will also even teach you some of sex positions, or how to to keep your
and that is true. What you're saying, Rumbi. Yes. This is the voices of the motherland, and of course we are talking about some of the things that are happening here. It is basically correct, because these are some of the things that have maybe led Ugandan women to be loved more. Actually, that will be a topic sometime in the show.
So let me just start. So because I was saying, because aunts are responsible for that nowadays. Now, because because of the issue of jealousy, and also because men are a bit less than the women. You know, the ratio maybe is 1 to 3 for every man. So over the years, the aunts have lost their role. They are no longer playing that role, the aunts, and also they're no longer playing that role because they are also now jealous. Because imagine you are teaching your niece sex education, and then your own child, right, is not married, and you're teaching someone else. So they became jealous over the years. A lot of things have risen
Well, that's
such that
I agree with her.
such that
I agree with
such
Ruby,
that
and you guys can understand.
even
That's
if
how you know.
they yeah, even if they give
That's
you
how you got.
advice, at times they might even destroy you with that advice. So they yes, they might even destroy you out of jealousy that their
Wow.
child is still at home, not married, or things are not progressing in their life. So it's now tricky as well to get this education even from our aunts, because our aunts, you know, they are even our own enemies. So it has become so difficult. So sex education right now, instead of it, okay, I would advocate that it should be taught in schools, because obviously this is a teacher you do not have blood connection with, you don't have blood ties with. You can as well listen to them, and maybe you're coming from your math lesson, you can as well listen to the teacher. So I think teachers as well, apart from teaching us biology, photosynthesis, whatever, they should also get in depth with this issue of sex education, because you know what, um it's their job. At the end of the day, they have to do their job, and they're doing it as well. You know, it's different from your aunt who's teaching you, really calm me
How's
this,
it?
really that. You
How are
see,
the aunts destroying you guys? How are the aunts? I need to know what the aunts doing. What do you mean the aunts are destroying the girls? Like, what do you mean, Rumby? I gotta get some clarification. How are the aunts destroying the young ladies? What they do? Are they jealous of the young girls? I'm trying to understand.
Okay, I think what Rumi is saying is that, at times it was the role of the aunts to ensure that they teach us in terms of a sex education. It was their role to ensure that they teach the young ones. But it reached a point whereby I'm teaching you, maybe I'm the aunt and I'm teaching my niece sex education, and this niece goes ahead and goes and gets married. But my child in the house, my daughter, is still getting older in the house and she has never been married. So I start feeling, some sort of jealousiness. I don't want to teach her the correct things. I want to, distort information such that even if she's married, she goes ahead and messes up her marriage. That is what she meant to say.
Okay. Well. I'm just saying. As you see, there's always more black women. That's why I told you guys your Bible is a lie. There's always more women than men. Because you know why? Because the universe is mostly feminine. Feminine is always the dominant. So there's always more women than men. Because when a child is born, before it becomes a boy, it's a female first. Then it might become a boy, but it's always a female. There's always going to be more women than men. Right? It's like, no woman came from no man's rib. It's always going to be more women. So sadly enough, the men are going to be rogues. The men are going to be unfaithful.
Exactly.
because it's just more women. There's more women. There's just more women. I told you, I always try to be honest. When I was young, growing up in the I'm from Los Angeles, but then I moved. My parents got divorced, and we ended up moving with my mother to Washington D.C., the nation's capital. And the ratio, the black women, the black men was like 15-1. So yeah, was I a good guy? And I damn sure wasn't gonna get no bride price. There was too many beautiful black women. That's my Achilles heel. That's my Achilles heel. It was too many. It was too many beautiful black women for me to. I didn't know how to be. Well, it's not that I didn't know how to be. I didn't want to be a faithful dude. There's too many beautiful women.
Confess. Mm-hmm.
It was just so sadly enough, especially back then in America, before black women start eating the Kentucky Fried Chickens and the bad diet. Now
Mm-hmm.
black women's bodies are all tore up over here, so that's why black men want to go to Africa.
And get your way easy.
Yeah, we want to get the black woman before she gets the KFC and her body gets all messed up.
Exactly. Let me just get to share this video on the situation in Uganda. Then we get to proceed. We get to proceed with the show. Tell you about personal hygiene. So, when do you know what personal hygiene is?
Carrying out personal hygiene. You understand? So, according to what we outlined, don't you wash your faces in the morning? When did you account that? That is all. If I were you, this is what I would do. So get an address, you refer to each bus so that you get more points. If you do not try, what can you get? What can you get? Right? Are you sure? Oh, you're counting yourself. Okay, so if you're not cutting the fingernails short, what would you get?
Oh, looks like I'm the only one left. I can't hear nothing.
Anyway, that is just a brief of what is happening in Uganda. And I can say that, handling kids is something quite difficult. They're shying off from the topic. They don't want to listen to what you're saying. They're shying off from the topic. You're trying your best, to make them realize the importance of staying clean, the importance of being hygiene, maintaining that hygiene during a menstrual period, the importance of maintaining privacy to your body. And these are just some of the hindrances, that make kids really know to understand. These are some of the things that make kids, to be easily lured by people. Because, for example, in that video, they are talking about, this situation whereby you're shying from your menses, you're hiding. So even your parents cannot know if you're having a menses, you're hiding your innerwears, things like that. And as a young girl, because you're very, you want to be jumpy, you want to run around, you want to explore many things, and as a result, you just realize that boom, you are pregnant. And of course, the one who is behind that either is just your playmate or someone older than you. And it is very much normal. Okay, not normal, but it's not good. Because in such situations, people in the society out there, they're like, they'll deny the fact that they have made you pregnant because they fear the prison sentence itself. It's quite crazy in some countries. In some countries, they get to deal with you. I mean, in terms of mob justice. If you're a rapist, mob justice is the way for you. Because I've seen some documentaries whereby a grandfather actually goes ahead and rapes, and rapes, that is the grandchildren. These are kids as young as 8 years old, just because they seem a little bit, in Swahili we call them a pum pum. Yani we just, I mean that, they're a little bit fat, they have that body, and then they tend, of course, that plump body, and then they tend to assume that, oh, she's of right age, which is quite crazy. And Rumbi, what are your thoughts on that? Because it seems like educating young kids also contributes to this. They're not paying attention. They're laughing, they're shying. They don't want, you're trying to explain this 1 minute, the other minute they want to shift to this. What are your thoughts on that? Perhaps a better way of dealing with this. I've seen a man there, which is good. Actually, as a lady and you're a child, and you see a man is telling you stories in terms of your health, in terms of staying, maintaining your virginity. Young girls, they tend to shy away from that. Do you think that men also do play a good role in that, or the issue with using a man should be, put aside for a second?
Okay, I'll comment on when you asked what I think on the issue of sex education. You know what? Funny as it may sound, I think it's high time people like you and me, when your friend, right, teaches you mathematics, you understand, confirm? Because it's peer-to-peer education. And I think it's high time someone like me, someone like you, right? We can decide to start on a low cost, or maybe we offer these services for free from time to time, part-time though. We need to be telling our sisters or the kids in schools, we should be the ones who go and relay the message, because children, teenagers, they will listen to people like you and me. They will not listen to a white-haired man. They will not listen to my mom. I don't even listen to my mom sometimes, but if I tell my sister to do this and that, she will do it, because she knows that if she doesn't, all hell will break loose, right? So I think exactly. So I think us, right? Because the youngsters, they feel like our parents don't understand things of the issue of modernization, civilization, technology, this whole Western thing coming in. There's a lot they are going through, and they will not take advice from our parents or from our grandparents, because to them, they're like, you can't tell me shit that you don't know. You can't tell me things that you've never experienced. So I think they can only understand when it's coming from people like you and me. I hope, I think that's the best way.
Awesome. You're definitely correct, and I side with you on that at Rumbi, because most of the time, you're used to your mother yelling at you, so it reaches a time I'm like, she'll just yell and stop, and I'll just play it faded, and that is it, and you won't even do the error that you were sent. But when it's sibling to sibling, when it's almost on another level, like you said, peer to peer, you get to be like, she's gonna do this and this to me, or she's gonna take this away from me, which actually makes someone to either do that errand or do something that was asked on them. And just to move on from that, we do have, in different countries, there has been the issue with, in terms of sentences on people who have, indulged in that. That is penalties for sex offenders. For example, in Kenya, we do have the issue whereby even life imprisonment is given to them. That is, life imprisonment is given to them if the victim is under 11 years of age. So you can imagine, this is a child under 11 years of age, and they already know what is supposed to be done. I mean, in terms of the sexual life, which is crazy. And that is when that is why I keep saying that parents, you should watch closely what your child is watching. At times they get to have these maybe let me use the example of a CDs, or right now everybody is watching things on Netflix. You get to leave your house, you're like, they're gonna watch cartoon the whole day. There's that let me use that voice at the back of their head, that tiny demon that keeps telling me that I've seen this somewhere, let me try it, or let me watch it and try it out, maybe with a friend. In Kenya we have these games by the children. It's called Chababa Chamama in Swahili, whereby you get to play some child games. You cook with mud, you pretend you're parents, and that is actually whereby some children have gotten paid from, because they want to know. They even tell themselves, let's do what mommy and daddy do. So also as parents, if you get to indulge in such act, it's good for you to ensure that your child isn't in the vicinity. Or if you're living in a single room, it's good, of course, to know maybe the right time to indulge in such, because these children, they go out there and copy that. And just to continue on that, 20 years you get 20 years imprisonment if you are a victim aged 13 to 15 years old. So you can imagine how hectic that is going to be for a young child who didn't even know what they were indulging in. They were just trying, but because they thought that maybe sex was the way forward, or maybe they're trying to show that they are that they are at the top of the food chain, that they get to control. That is where they get to indulge on that. And for 15 years and above, you get to have a 16 to 18 years. That is the penalty. But I was thinking, this penalty should be even worsened. But for a child, sorry about that noise. For a child, it's really should be minimized, and they should go through maybe some therapy, told some of the challenges. They can maybe they can even be shown videos of people who have suffered from indulging into this, either in terms of sexually transmitted diseases, because they do not know that. Issues with child support, it is quite hectic. This is one child who's depending on you, and the next minute they have someone who's depending on them. That is my view on that. And perhaps at Rumi, because we are almost winding up the show, what is your general view? I mean, you can give a general view in terms of sexual education, maybe from the way the government should do, or the way the parents should do. The field is yours. What is your view on that? General view on this sex education in Africa.
All right. In terms of sex education generally in Africa, I think we're a bit we are lagging on that. And also it goes back to the issue of identity. We want to be identified with the Westerns and the things they do, their ways and whatnot. But there's need as well to go back to our roots and appreciate our culture and appreciate how things are done in Africa. You need to be proud to be African. You need to be proud to be Kenyan, to be Malawian, to be South African, to be Zimbabwean. We need to be proud, right? Because we wouldn't be having this conversation if we didn't want to adopt the Western way of things. I'll tell you, everyone who's been involved, let's say in sex, I know people who started having sex at 11 years. Some of them is because of the content that they are exposed to. We'll talk about social media, we'll talk about this pornography websites, we'll talk about movies, we can talk about a lot of things. Children nowadays, I tell you, things are now different, especially from the 2000, children born from 2000 right now, the things they've done multiple abortions, they've done a lot of things. I think we need as well to have strong regulations when it comes to the content that we're exposed to. When it comes as well, parents need to be involved in their children's lives. Don't be a parent all the time. Act as a sister to your child at times. Act as, I don't know, but we shouldn't be so strict, especially for the African parents. They're extremely strict. They do not have that bond with their children. Some of them, you'd be surprised, they can have that bond with children of the next door, and yet there's trouble in their own homes. So right now, we need to go back to the root, like I'm saying, that we should be seen that we are Africans with the way we carry ourselves, the things we're exposed to, let it be African all the way, number one. Number two, parents as well, like I was saying, they need to have a stronger connection with their kids. I'll tell you, when your kids start having sex, no matter they hide it so much, you will know when you're close to them.
Exactly.
You will see changes. You will see changes, be it in mood swings or even their level of shyness. It increases.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. But because parents nowadays they do not have that relationship with their kids, right? So it's yeah. Right now people are always busy doing whatever it takes to make money, making money and providing food on the table. We have forgotten the importance of togetherness, the importance of being a family, the importance of communication. It goes back to the issue of communication. We should be able to communicate, because you know what, some of the abortions that are happening right now, they can be reduced, they can be avoided if your child can confide in you. But well, as for me, I'm one of those people. I'm so afraid to tell my mom some of the things that I experienced in my life, because like you know, I'm so afraid. Imagine I'm 23 and yet still I'm afraid. And my sister, she's 17, and she can see that I'm afraid to communicate certain things to my mom. So you can imagine it's going line by line, generation to generation. And before you know it, our parents would have lost touch by the time we get to the, I don't know, 10th, 4th generation. So parents need to work on their relationship with their parents, sisters with older sisters, because some things when they are dealt with as a family, some things can be avoided, some things can be reduced. And also with the issue of peer pressure, one needs to know their self-worth, one needs to be confident in themselves, and one needs to know and be content about where they come from. Imagine, for example, let's say I come from a very, very poor family, right? And then I get swamped up in the slay queen business. You know what? At the end of the day, you're going back to your home where you wear $1 slippers, and yet you were enjoying the life with someone who is driving a Prado, someone who's driving a Jeep. They were born in the money, or you don't know how they became rich or where the money is coming from. So I think you need to be content. If your parents can afford to put a loaf of bread and not be able to buy the eggs, the bacon, the ham to come with it, be content. Because so long you're not content, before you know it, you will become a professional, a sex worker at the age of 14. Because you see, you see these clubs, those people, those ladies who we watch on TV or who aren't afraid so much to reveal certain parts of their bodies. You start at 20. You start at a very young age doing that, because you know what, you feel like I deserve the nice jewelry. I deserve to drive a Porsche car. So you need to be content. When you are, as long as you're below 16, as long as you're below 18, my sister, my friend, my brother, go to school and learn. I'm not saying that when you are learned, life becomes easy. No. When we go to school so that we open up our minds, right? And so that you know that KFC is nothing. When you go to school, you realize KFC is nothing. But well, the generation nowadays is something else. But hopefully things, we might save one or two people as we are going down the way, as we are going along the way. Hopefully me and you both, we can save one or two citizens from our countries or from this continent. But well, those with ears, let them hear. Those with eyes, let them see. So yeah.
Wow, Rubies, I am giving you a trophy today. You walk with a trophy, one, because you've just hit the nail on the head. And I highly agree with you on what you've said. Correct. Parents have played a great role in terms of making us fear them, and that is why, you know, you want to, even when borrowing money from an African parent itself is a case. It's a chaos. They'll be like, I gave you this and this amount. Yeah, it just becomes chaotic, and that is why it has made some youths, they rather not confide in their parents. They maybe talk with their peers, just do things their own selves, and boom, the next minute the belly is popping. And also the issue with us not appreciating ourselves, that is correct, in that we believe that westernized culture is the way forward. And as a result, we are here messed up, because I can assure you that, of course, you've seen this also in European countries. We've seen the number of teenage pregnancies escalating because of how they get to raise their kids. And as a result, you've seen that our own, of course, children, even us, of course, we're trying to emulate that. And I really appreciate the topic of the day. I really appreciate your sentiments at Rumi's Eye. This is amazing. And of course, I remember, guys, also at Kids Newsome, we really appreciate you. We are, of course, coming to the end of the show, because we do have other shows that are coming up a few minutes from now. That is the African Today show. And also the issue with the curfew. You know, it is not easy here, actually, in Nairobi. You get to queue for the bus. The next minute, the moment it's 8 something, boom, things are closed. The business is closed. So you're left with, you have to get an Uber, and that is out of your budget the way you had, of course, expected to be. But at Kate Newsome, Light Bearer, and everyone who was watching the African Today show, we really appreciate you. Remember, you can get to log in at www.blackhotfirenetwork.com. You can get, of course, to support the stream at Cash App. That is Mr. Black Hot Fire, and of course, donate at www.blackhotfirenetwork. We also do have other shows. When you get to log in at the site, we do have the Voices of the Motherland show. We do have, we do have a lot of shows lined up there that you can get to watch. At the African Duchess, I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for connecting with us here on Black Hot Fire Network. Bye-bye, and do have a great day. Bye.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Good day. We'll get to interact.
Sogaila haiketi ukuzipijile kitokutana babe lewe kucha praga regie basi zonakata madini mukari zenye dona